We are following a developing story that feels like it just keeps developing and developing. The Heat suspended Jimmy Butler again for 2 games after he missed a team flight on Wednesday. Now, Butler, he was planning reportedly on taking a private charter to Milwaukee, who plays Miami tonight. Here's Erik Spoelstra earlier today about this situation.
The point that I made to our team is get used to it. Get over it. This is the NBA life. This is the life we chose. If you think that it's just going to be predictable, you're really mistaken. You know, I think it takes a mental fortitude and commitment just to focus on the task at hand. Nothing changes in terms of what the task is. We have a game tonight. We have enough continuity. We know what our identity is at this point. You can make any excuse you want to.
Another day, another suspension. That means more Shams Charania, which is good news for us. Shams, what went into the Heat's decision here to suspend Jimmy again?
Malika, this isn't the first time that Jimmy Butler wanted to fly separately from the team, but this was the first time that the Heat put forth action in discipline. And that's really what happens when you're in the middle of a breakup, of a divorce. It gets ugly, it gets nasty, and in this case, it continues to escalate. And everyone knows that this is the end of a relationship, both sides, Miami and Jimmy Butler. And this Heat season has turned into winning basketball and trying to win in Heat culture to essentially Pat Riley against Jimmy Butler. And what and when is the resolution to this is, I think, the biggest question around the league. And both sides, to my understanding, even as of 5-10 minutes ago on a couple calls with people involved in the situation, they have the same goal. It's just how are you going to get there? And we have 2 weeks before the NBA trade deadline. 2 weeks that this could continue to go on, and another 2-game suspension. So that means that Butler will now have been suspended a total of 9 games. That 9-game sideline story costs a pretty penny.
Jesus Christ.
In total, it'll run nearly $3.1 million.
Ooh.
That's a whole lot of big face coffee. And as my friend Kendrick Perkins would say, it's just looking longer than a CVS receipt over there. So we do know the teams that Jimmy prefers to be traded to. So let's go coast to coast on some of those teams who were in action last night. Starting with the Golden State Warriors. They were in Sacramento, and this was brutal. They blew an 18-point lead. Sac improved to 10-2 under Doug Christie. Golden State's only won 11 of their last 30 games. Mr. Spears, does Jimmy fix the Dubs' problems here?
It helps. They need all the help they could get. He gives them a scoring that they desperately need, somebody that's a dog. And I do think when you have a strong personality like Draymond in the locker room, Jimmy's not going to be the loudest voice there, and Draymond will push him to do Warriors culture.
Oh, Warriors culture. Strength in numbers, maybe. Another team reportedly on Jimmy's list, the Dallas Mavericks. They hosted the Timberwolves last night in a rematch of the Western Conference Finals. It made for an interesting ending, despite the Mavs being down 6 rotational players, including Derek Lively, Clay, Luka. Kyrie had a chance to tie it, couldn't go down. Chene, does Jimmy Butler get Dallas back to the finals?
Look, please indulge me, but if Jimmy Butler enters Dallas, it could be the most clutch backcourt in the NBA. Think about Luka. Think about Kyrie. Think about playoff Jimmy. Then you got a sniper and Clay. When healthy, that could be crazy.
Interesting. But the destination atop Jimmy's trade list, reportedly, the Phoenix Suns, right? They were in Brooklyn last night. They beat the Nets by 24. It's Phoenix's second largest margin of victory this season. KD, he knows those Barclays Nets well, and with 24 points, he joined LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the only players to score 20 or more in 20 straight games at age 36 or older. Still, though, the Suns, they sit at 10th. We know Governor Matt Ishbia is not afraid to take big swings here. So, Perk, would adding Jimmy Butler propel them from the bottom of the play-in picture back into the top 6?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he would actually elevate Kevin Durant. And I know Kevin Durant is averaging about 27 points a game, but think about the success when Kevin Durant has been successful for his teams. He's had dogs around him. You need a dog, right? In Oklahoma City, he had Russell Westbrook and yours truly, me, right? In Golden State, he had Draymond Green. That's why KD was able to play, they was able to play small ball, and KD was one of the best defenders in the league at the 4 position at the time, playing alongside Draymond. Jimmy just brings something different to the table that doesn't show up in the box scores all the time, right? You want a guy that's going to ruffle the feathers and be the instigator and not the retaliator. That's what Jimmy Butler do. You want to be able to get off the bus on the road and have that certain level of swag and confidence because you got this individual rocking with you who don't give a damn about being booed, who don't give a damn about ruffling the feathers, who don't give a damn about getting in somebody's face. That's what the Suns are missing. That's what KD need on his squad, and that's what Jimmy Butler brings to the table.
But that's not an easy deal to get done here, Shams.
It's not, and the Heat have been canvassing conversations, the league, on different trade talks. They've engaged with multiple teams even this week. There have been some productive conversations, but a deal that brings Jimmy Butler to Phoenix in all likelihood would be 3, 4, 5 team constructs, and we've all been around the NBA enough to know that any deal that gets to that plateau of that many teams, that is a very, very difficult trade.
Yeah, that seems complicated. But if we are in this situation, I'm right there with Perk. First of all, what we've learned with Jimmy Butler is he wants to be where he wants to be. Going elsewhere, you'd feel like it's a question mark. We sort of had the idea about Memphis or some other teams, Dallas or Golden State, and you wonder the buy-in factor, right? Because clearly that checked out in Miami, literally like he was checked out. Now in Phoenix, he clearly wants to be there. How do you make that happen? It's going to be complicated. But I think Perk's right. One thing I love about Kevin Durant, you know what you're going to get from him, 27 to 30 points per game. I think we have to put Devin Booker in that category. A lot of people have said maybe he can be that dog. He's a two-way player. He's increased his ball handling ability. I think from what we have assessed, this team currently at 10th, they need more. They need someone that can provide a little bit more, and and Phoenix knows it. Okay, good.
And then I was told today from someone close to the situation that his wish list is just out of Miami. With exception to Memphis. That he doesn't want to go to Memphis.
That's not just out of Miami.
That's what I said, developing.
Yeah, that's like when people say, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, anything, but here's my 3-page list of the
So
actual.
But he does